Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vaisheshika Darshana, Vaisheshika Nyaya, they go together, it's a pair. Founded by Ganada, otherwise called Uluka. Therefore, this Darshana is called Ganada Darshana or Aulukya Darshana. Then, what is the basic Grantha, the text on which the Darshana is based? Vaisheshika Sutra Sartha consists of 10 adhyayas, 10 chapters, and each containing 2 sections. So, total 374 sutras are there. Prashastapada written Padartha Dharma Sangraha. It is known by Bhashya, but it's not literally a Bhashya. There are commentaries to that available. Nyaya Gandhavali, etc. Vyomavati and Kiranavali. Then Vaisheshika system. This is what I said. This is why I said it is almost looked upon as one. That's why it's a pair. It became closely associated with the Nyaya system in course of time. The later writers started dealing with them as if they are one. Then Vaisheshika is their view is pluralistic view, not eka, many. Pluralistic realism. The reality is many for them. Why the reality is many? Because this it is not materialistic pluralism. It is not only material, also non-material. Like the atmas are many, jivatmas are many, Paramatma is one, jivatmas are many. That's it. Pluralistic. And padartha, Vaisheshika, they use the word padartha. Padartha means the meaning of a word. It's called padartha. Think of the object which is referred to or which is signified by a word. It's called padartha, object of knowledge. It's called padartha. And that object of knowledge can be named. Therefore, it's nameable, abhideya. So, padartha and abhideya. According to Vaisheshika system, all the objects of valid knowledge recommended 7 categories. All the objects of valid knowledge, this padartha, recommended 7 categories. It is called 7 padartha, sapta padarthaha. What are they? Dravya, guna, karma, samanya, then vaishesha, samavaya, and abhava. So, it is sapta padarthaha. In fact, it is said the first 6 categories: dravya, that is substance; guna, quality; action, karma; generality, that is samavaya; and vishesha or vaishesha, which is generality, particularity; and samavaya, the ignorance. These first 6 categories, the padarthas, the object of knowledge. They are mentioned by Kannada. The last one, they say it is added by the commentators. So the above categories, all the above categories with the exception of its abhava, they're all existence. And each one is elaborated further according to Vaisheshika. The substance of an entity possesses guna and karma, qualities and action. So the dravyatvam inherence in the dravya, in the substance. It is not just a mixture of qualities and actions. It is real and it has got objective existence. So a substance is they say it's a substrate of qualities and actions. So the qualities and actions can be separated from a substance. That is why they exist in a substance. The guna and karma. Dravya is a substance in which guna and karma can exist. So guna and karma can be separated. That they exist in a substance. So therefore, substance can have existence without guna and karma. That is the guna and karma separately also mentioned. Okay. As I told, the example I gave, the thread, the green color is there. The color is a quality. The color is a quality, which is not the cause for the cloth. The color of the thread is not for the cause of the cloth. What is the cause of the cloth? The thread is a cause. And the thread is in green color. Therefore, the cloth appears green. Therefore, the color of the thread is not the inherent cause for the cloth. The similar way, action also we can take. Suppose you write with a pen, you hold the pen and write with that. So the fingers hold the pen and they can be separated. So the action, the kriya, which is done by holding the pen between the fingers, and the pen can be separated without. Therefore, the action is the action which is done with the help of the fingers and the pen. When they come and the action is done. Right? So, therefore, the kriya is also not inherent in the dravya. The relation between fingers and pen can be separated from each other without losing identification of fingers and pen. They can be separated. They say. So, this is one thing. So, what is inherent and what is non-inherent? That we need to understand. As I said, the color of the thread is inherent. The cloth has got. The cloth is a product. The cloth is a product. The cloth is inherent. The thread is inherent in the cloth, but not the color. The color can be separated. So therefore, dravya and karma exist. Sorry, the guna and karma can exist in a dravya. So it is the substratum for both. Where karma will be there, the dravya. Where guna will be there in the dravya. So therefore, this is some example. Okay. Now, the next one is what are the different types of dravyas? What are the different types of dravya? We saw that as nine types of dravya. So these 9 substances are there. The first 4, Prithvi, Jalam, Tejas, and Vayu. These first 4 are, the first 4 are the what do you call this? Is the first 4 with the Akasha, it's called Panchabhuta. Akasha and space, they are enumerated separately in Vaisheshika system. So you can note that. Akasha is there, Akasha, and as well as the space. Space means direction. In the here you can see Akasha is ether, whereas Dik is space. So the space is also considered to be a Dravya. So Vaisheshika recognizes 9 types of Dravya. With Akasha, along with the 4 Bhuta, it becomes Panchabhuta. Okay. So in each of the substance, there is one specific quality that may be perceived by one sense organ. For example, how many sense organs you have? 5 sense organs. Okay, this is not only here. In general, I am telling you can remember this. Panchabhutas are the Akasha, Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, and Prithvi. 5 Panchamahabhutas. And we have got 5 sense organs. What are the 5 sense organs? Chakshuhu, Chakshurindriyani, Dhrana Indriyani, nose, Rasanendriya, that is tongue, then Twagindriya, skin, then Shrotrendriya, ears. So each Indriya can perceive each quality, each specific quality of the Bhuta. Each Bhuta has got specific quality which are recognized, which are perceived by the sense organ. For example, this Bhumi, Prithvi, has got the property smell. Smell is not of the water. If the water smells, it is not really because of the water. Some Prithvi element is there in the water, therefore only water is smell. Whether it is sweet smell or stinking smell. That smell belongs to Prithvi. Water has got taste. Rasa, it's got taste. Salinity, sweetness, water has got taste. That can be perceived through Rasanendriya, that is your tongue. And fire, Tejas, Agni has got form. So from Agni only really the form starts. Rupa. From Agni only. The Murta, they call Murta Bhutas. Akasha is the first element. From Akasha, Vayu. From Vayu, Agni. From Agni, Apa. From Apa, Prithvi. This is the sequence in which the Panchabhutas are born. This is a sequence. In Vedanta, it is said like that. Now, what may be here? 4 elements are there. For here they didn't talk about that. But you can know this from the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Agnehe, Apaha, Apah, Prithvi. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said. Here also there's same 5 elements. I think the same day only it is also born. But they are all eternal. Here it is eternal. Now, from Akasha, Vayu, these 2 elements, the first 2 elements are Amurta Bhuta. It means they don't have form. They cannot be perceived by the sense organs. I mean, they can't be, in sense, they can't be perceived. They're not available for your eyes, sense organ eye. They're not available for Chakshurindriya. The Chakshurindriya starts only from the Agni. From that only Murta. That is the Akasha and Vayu. Akasha is space. Vayu is air. So they don't have form. Akasha doesn't have form. Vayu doesn't have form. They are Amurta. Whereas from Agni only, Murta Bhutas. Agni has got form. Because it has got form, that is available for your Chakshurindriya. You can see it. From Agni only, Apaha, the rain, water. Water also available for your Chakshurindriya. You can see. But Water has got a specific property, taste, that is known only by the tongue. Then from the water only Prithvi has come. Prithvi is a very solid substance. Prithvi has come. That specific property of the Prithvi is smell. So 5 indriyas and 5 sense organs and 5 bhutas, 5 elements, 5 great elements, Pancha Mahabhuta. We call Tanmatras also. So among the 5, the first 2 are Amurta, the last 3 are Murta, Bhutas. Now, the point here is each Bhuta has got specific quality that are recognizable by specific sense organs, Indriya. As I told, this smell of the earth, Prithvi, is recognized by Granendriya, by nose. Prithvi. The taste of the water is perceived by the tongue. The form of the Agni has got form. You see Agni Kunda, when fire is invoked, it has got form, fire has got form. Rupa, shape. So that is perceived by the eyes. Therefore, in the world, what you perceive, the forms, they are nothing but, they're all, Agni is all the things have got all the Pancha Mahabhutas. Everything in the world, the object, what you perceive, they have got all they're made up of this Pancha Mahabhuta. Even Agni is there. Even in the water, Agni is there, because water itself is a product of Agni. Okay. So now, Vayu, how Vayu is perceived by your skin, Tugindriya. You know, it is cool breeze or is a hot air, that touch, Sparsha Indriya, that is Tugindriya. So, the specific quality of Vayu is perceived by Tugindriya, Sparsha. And Akasha. Akasha, what is the to Akasha? Akasha stands for sound. The sound quality of the Akasha is perceived by your ears. So 5 indriyas, 5 Panchabhutas. This is how it is. Now, therefore only the sense organs, what we have, they are said to be born of this Panchamahabhuta. From Akasha, Panchamahabhuta, Shrotrendriya is born. From Akasha. Similarly, from Vayu, Bhuta, the skin is born. From Agni, the eyes are born. Not literally physical eyes, the power to see. When I say Indriyani, please note. Indriyani, what it means, not the physical organs. The power behind the functioning of the organs. That is called Indriyani. Not literally sense organs. The power, the capacity, which make the Indriyas, the physical organs function. That is called Indriya. So, from the Agni, Chakshurindriya born. Then from the Apa, Rasanendriya was born, tongue was born. From the Prithvi, what is born? Granendriya. So this is how it is born. Therefore, 5 Panchamahabhuta, 5 Indriya. And every object, everything in the world is made of this Panchamahabhuta. Therefore, it is available for your sense organs, perception of your sense organs. And for Vaisheshika, these come under Dravya. It is a substance. Comes as one Padartha, Dravya Padartha. Under Dravya Padartha, all these are covered. Okay. Now, here, further, it has got Kala, then Dit, then Atma and Manas. All these are eternal. All these are eternal. This is about Dravya. Then the 4 elements exist in the form of Paramanus before creation. Here what he means by the creation is the physical world. The physical, before the physical world came, the physical world is nothing but made up of this Bhuta only. So the physical world, before the physical world came into existence, this what was there is only the four elements in the form of Paramanus, Paramanu, and Akasha, Kala, Dik, and Atma. They're all pervading. It's all pervading. That is all pervading means this is Sarva Vyapi. Akasha, time, Dik, they are eternal and all pervading. Atma. And Vaisheshika, and under Atma, how many Atmas are there? Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is one. Sorry, Paramatma is one. Jivatmas are many. That is why I told it is pluralistic. They accept many things. Many things are eternal. In contrast to Vedanta, here many things are accepted. That's why pluralistic realism. Vaisheshika is pluralistic realism. Now, continuing further, all these things we discussed yesterday. Then gunas also, 24 gunas. Just know these 5 qualities of the 5 sense organs. That is why I mentioned Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the 5 qualities of the 5 sense organs. Then the Parimana, the measurement, the magnitude, the Sanyoga, Buddhi, Sukha, Dukkha, Icha, Dvesha, Samskara, Dharma, and Adharma. These are the 24 gunas. So, Dravya, Guna, Karma, that's among the 7 padarthas. How many gunas are there? 24 gunas. Dravyas, 9. We will not deal with in detail, but only this much is enough. So, and regarding the abhava, we discussed Atyanta abhava, Prag abhava, Pradvamsa abhava. Atyanta, Prag, and this Pradvamsa. And here, under Kriya, you can note Kriya, I told only here in this book, it is given only 2 types of Kriya. We saw that. 5 kinds of action. Utkshepana and Akunchana or Avakshepana. Sorry, Akunchana. Only 2 actions are given. Throwing upward and upward motion and downward motion. Upward motion and contraction. That is downward motion. That is also one more kriya. Avakshepana, expansion, prasarana, and gamana, locomotion. So, action, kriya. So, 5 types of the kriya. So, 5 types of kriya. Karma is a physical movement which belongs to a substance. Karma is belongs to a substance and is dynamic in nature. It is not eternal. It is non-eternal. It resides in a substance, belongs to a substance. And they can be perceived by the senses of sight and touch. Okay, what is upward movement? Upward motion, you may ask. That's like throwing a stone upward. That's called upward motion. Similarly, a fruit falls from the tree, downward motion. And this akunchana, contraction, that's clenching your fingers of the hand. That's an action. And expansion is keeping your fingers away from each other. That's just an example I'm giving. All these are the movement, the kriya. And gamana is one more kriya, walking, running, swimming, whatever the action. So all these actions, these are all the actions. Now, under abhava, after that abhava, these 3 types of abhava: prag abhava, pradvamsa abhava, atyanta abhava. Prag abhava, pradvamsa, and pradvamsa, atyanta abhava. Prag abhava means antecedent non-existence, prior non-existence, absence of a substance prior to its production. Before the table was made, the table was not there. It did not exist. So, Prag abhava. Pradvamsa abhava is the pot is destroyed, made into pieces now. So after the destruction, it is not available. Atyantabhava means it is not at all there. Like in Chandra, there is no Ushna. There is Ushnam in the Chandra, complete absence. Absolute non-existence it is. That's why I give example. Vandhya Putra, son of the barren woman, is neither born nor destroyed. Atyanta Bhava, absolute non-existence. So these are the types of Abhava. Abhava is also one of their what? Padartha. So now comes the next point, God and the world. See, all these are the speculations, okay? It is their speculation. So you are right, you have to know what is a speculation. How they speculate, how they come to this, that is all out of scope. For that, you have to study Vaisheshika Sutras. Even Vedanta also like that only. If you want to know why we say it is Advaitam, non-dual, you have to study. We cannot discuss everything elaborately, not possible, because we are only introduction to Darshana. Introduction only to Darshana. What is there? The concept of God. What is the concept of Jiva? What is this world? For this world, its world is created, something created. For created, you need material. What are the materials? There are materials which are eternally available. That's what they say. Eternal substances. Eternal and non-eternal. Eternal substances and non-eternal substances. So material is there, but God is there, and jivas are many. So this is their speculation. Like Nyaya has got a different speculation. Similarly, Vaisheshika also, their speculation. And it is all based on why they are called Astika Darshana, because they believe in the Veda. They believe in the Veda, therefore they believe in the karma, etc. That's why it's called Astika Darshana. And also they believe in Ishvara. You will see later. Darshana, where they believe in Veda, but not in Ishvara. Still the Astika only. Still Astika only. So we have seen what is Astika. Astikas are those, Astika Darshanas are those Darshana which believe in Veda as a Pramana. So here also, this Vaisheshika also believe in Veda Pramana. And they also believe in God, Ishvara. So God and the world. So Vaisheshika Darshana accept the existence of Ishvara or Maheshwara, supreme intelligent being under whose will and guidance this world is created, sustained and destroyed. The world is there, so it must have been created. Somebody would have created. The Karta must be there. Is Srishtikarta, and it is sustained. So it is Sthiti Karta. And finally it is resolved back, Laya Karta. So Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Under his supervision, everything happens. So they believe that, yeah, God is there, Ishvara is there. And what about Jiva? The world is a system of physical things and living beings which interact with one another. There is an interaction, Vyavahara. What guides the world is actually the moral order, the order by which the world is sustained, by which the life and destiny of all the individual souls are governed, the universal law of karma. The starting point of creation followed by sustenance and destruction, these three being cyclic and eternal, is the will of God. It is Ishvara Icha. So the first product of his will is to create is the world soul, Brahma. So Brahma, the first products. So this is also according to Veda. Veda says Brahma is firstborn. Brahma is firstborn. You can look upon Brahma as a personal God, or you can look upon Brahma as a impersonal God also. So world is soul. What is world is soul? All these words are very peculiar words. That's why English words are problem. World is soul means the soul of the world is a main person, is a one. The first product of his will to create is the world soul, is the soul of the world. Who created Brahma? Bhagavan. This is what even in not here I'm saying that in the Ranganatha Swami, from the Nabi Kamalam the Brahmaji comes. So if you look upon him as Ishvara Ranganatha, that Vishnu, from his Nabi, Brahma was the first one created, the first created. The first one was created by the Lord, by the Ishvara is Brahma. He is filled by God and with the 6 blessed qualities. Jnana, Vairagya, Aishwarya. So Brahmaji is endowed with the 6 qualities completely. That's why he's called Bhagavan. Brahma is called Bhagavan. He's also called Bhagavan. Bhagaha asya asti iti Bhagavan. The one who has got Bhaga is called Bhagavan. What is Bhaga? Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya yashasashriyah Jnana Vairagyayoschaiva Shanna Bhaga iti Rana. There is a shloka from Vishnu Purana. So Bhaga means a 6-fold, the virtues or the qualities. Aishwarya. Aishwarya is Ishwarasya Bhavaha, overlordship, we say, overlordship. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Virya. Virya means strength. Shaktiman, Sarva Shaktiman, Virya. Then Yashas. Yashas is fame, the glory. All the glory belongs to Bhagavan. His glory only. Shriyaha means wealth. Then Jnana, knowledge. Vairagya is dispassion. All these 6 qualities are completely present in whom, that is called Bhagavan. Bhagaha. 6 qualities are put together called Bhaga. The one who has is called Bhagavan, like Balavan, Dhanavan. Dhanam asya asti iti Dhanavan. Balam asya asti iti Balavan. Similarly, Bhagaha asya asti iti Bhagavan. So Brahmaji is blessed with all the 6-fold qualities. He is the chief architect of the creation. That proceeds with the further creation in accordance with the total of adrishtas of the individual souls by setting in motion the Paramanus or atoms to combine with one another, ultimately resulting in the world. How does Brahmaji create these Jagat? He doesn't create out of his own whims and fancies. The cause for the creation is provided by the Jiva. The Jiva interact with the world, interact with one another and interact with the world. And that produces that karma, the action. And karma produces karma pala. Karma pala in the form of papa and punya. This you cannot see. Adrishtam. Papa and punya can known only from the Shastram. There is no pramana to know the papam or punyam. You do good action, you gain punyam. If you do action which is not proper, hurting action, himsa, you will get papam. Either you experience it or this will be added to your account. That's why it is not drishtam, adrishtam. In Tamil we say adrishtam. Means something which is good karma was there in his account, which manifested. Therefore, adrishtam, he got everything good. To be born in a good family, adrishtam. To be born in a yogic family, yoga, in the lineage of yoga, yogic person, or great people, adrishtam. To be born in a wealthy family, adrishtam, punya karma. To be born to a good parents, adrishtam. To be born in a good country, adrishtam. All good karma. To be born as a human being, one must have definitely punya karma. So these are the results of the jiva because of his interaction with one another, other jiva and the world. So that is a seed, that is a cause. Based on that, only Brahmaji creates this Jagat. That's what he says here. In accordance with the totality of adrishtas, unseen merits and demerits. Unseen merits is punya, unseen demerit is papa. Of the individual souls by setting in motion the Paramanus or atoms to combine with one another, because they are also existing Paramanus atom, and they combine with one another and the Jagat is created. You need a particular world. for the jivas to experience particular karma pala. Now, what the world is, Jagat is now because of the collective karma pala. It's not one particular jiva's karma pala. It's the samashti karma pala that decides what type of world is. So Brahmaji decides based on the karma pala of the individual jivas. And therefore, he set in motion the atoms to combine with one another, the paramanus, that which are eternal, that paramanus, they combine with one another, which creates this Jagat. Similarly, the dissolution part, it is in the reverse order. It is in the reverse order. Brahma gives up the body. Yes, Brahma also, he gives us body. He cannot be in that Shariram for long. Then Mageshwara then wills the dissolution and brings about the pralaya or destruction. The world is then reduced to the primary state of the seven padarthas. So ultimately come back to seven padarthas. That is why this is seven padartha system. So at the time of dissolution, what happened? Brahmaji has done the job. Brahmaji is also, that is also designation, a post, like any other post. It's a post, it's a designation. So given the assignment, Brahmaji does, and after that, he also, like Jiva lives for a certain number of years. Brahmaji also lives for a certain number of years, but his number of years is too long compared to Jiva. So he lives for long, whereas Jiva, human being, lives for a certain period of time, 100 years or 120 years, that is the lifespan. Brahmaji has got longer lifespan, that's all. But Brahmaji also has to pack up things and go at the time of dissolution. Then what will happen at the end? It is reduced to the seven padarthas, out of which three came, and finally back to seven padartha. So seven padartha system, they believe in the seven padartha. Now, here it is not given, but you can note important thing. Vaisheshika accepts this, the perception and inference. That is Pratyaksha and Anumana. And they also accept comparison, that is called Upamana and Shabda. Okay, so therefore, the Vaisheshika accept. Nyaya we saw. Nyaya accept four pramanas. Pratyaksha, then Anumana, Upamana, and Shabda Pramana. Vaisheshika accept only two pramanams. In fact, they accept only two pramanam only. That is Pratyaksha and Anumana. But what happened was the Vaisheshika, two other pramanas, that is Upamana and this Shabda Pramana, that are accepted by Naiyayikas, they bring that also into Pratyaksha and Anumana. So, therefore, we can say Vaisheshika also, like Nyaya, they accept all the four Pramanas. Because the Naiyayikas, Nyaya, they accept Upamana and Shabda Pramana. And these two also, this Vaisheshika, what they do, they bring under Pratyaksha and Anumana. So therefore, like Nyaya Darshana, Vaisheshika also accept, we can say. So that point is not discussed here. This is one point you can note. Okay. Fine. And this much is there. More are there, but it's not required. Whatever it is there in this book, that much is enough for the examination standpoint. So, being an Astika Darshana, therefore they also accept in Shabda Pramana. Conclusion, like the Nyaya system, Vaisheshika Darshana also is a realistic philosophy which combines pluralism with theism. It's a pluralistic reality philosophy. Creation is not by chance, but executed by God in a planned manner as per the karmas of the individual soul for the proper realization of their ultimate moral perfection. By harmonizing the atomic theory with the moral and spiritual outlook on life and accepting God as a creator and moral governor of the world, the Vaisheshika system moved near towards the Vedanta system, which proved to be the pinnacle of Indian philosophy as a whole. Okay. So, therefore, everything, they are, all these are finally, if you see, they move towards Vedanta. Finally, that's why only having studied all this system, understanding the system, the understanding the defects of the system, and the Vedanta system, which is said to be the pinnacle of all the darshana, because the Vedanta system, they take inputs from all the system, and the Advaita system is formed. That system which answers all the possible questions. Whatever questions you have, that questions are answered by the Vedanta. So Vaisheshika system may have some defects. Defects. Vedanta, they discuss and dismiss it, and all these things are finally now they culminate in the Vedanta system. That's called the Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa. Anyway, so this is what is Vaisheshika Darshana is, and other things are talked about, but I think it is not required. This much is enough. And one more point, as I already told, Vaisheshika accept only two types of this, two knowledges to be valid knowledge. One is perception, other one is inference. As I told, the other two pramanas which the Nayayikas accept, that is Upamana and the verbal testimony, Shabda Pramana, they are also reduced into perception and inference. Therefore, in that way, it differs from Nyaya philosophy. Vaisheshika, in that way, differs from Nyaya philosophy. Nyaya accept 4, Vaisheshika 2, and in the other two are also included. Therefore, really speaking, Vaisheshika also 4 only. So whether you look upon it as a 4 or 2, when you say it as a 2, within the 2, other 2 are also included. So this is this Vaisheshika Darshana. As I told, this Darshana must talk about 6 things. It talks about Jiva, it talks about God, it talks about the Jagat. The Jagat is initiated by Brahma, Bhagavan through Brahmaji. Brahma is also creates based on the Karmapala of the Jivas. So it is Jagat is created. Then there is action and Karmapala, and therefore there is the Karmapala. The results are there. Based on the results, the creation is created. And here, then, what is the? If you ask, what is the concept of the mukti? God is there, okay. God is there. Vaisheshika school believes in Ishvara, because Ishvara is the authority of the Veda, and Vaisheshika believes in the principle of karma. So Veda is authoritative. As I told, Veda Pramanam, verbal testimony is also included in the perception and inference. So God is there. Then what about this Bandha and Moksha? What is the idea of Bandha and Moksha? It is not discussed here, but you can note. Human beings are in Bandha because of what? Because of their Ajnanam. And they can be free from Ajnanam by what? By knowledge. So Bandha is due to Ajnanam, and knowledge is due to, and Moksha is due to Jnanam. So, and Bandha and Moksha are created by what? Created by the Kriya, the actions. So, the Jiva perform Kriya due to Ajnanam, the actions which are performed by the Jiva based on whether it is Punya and Papa. If the actions are in conformity with the Vedic, with the injunction of the Veda, then it is Punya Karma. If it is prohibited by the Veda, then it is Papa Karma. So good action produces good results, bad action produces bad results. So because every action has its equal and opposite results. So good actions produce good results. Bad action, bad results. This is in keeping with the law of karma and in keeping with the Shastram. So, and this is guided by what? Guided by Ishvara Bhagavan. And he is the one who imparts motion to these atoms, these parmanus. And therefore it leads to the creation of this Jagat. Jagat is created for the experience of Sukha and Dukkha of this Jiva. So as long as the Jiva keeps performing Kriya, the karma, the action, it will be in bondage. It will be in bondage. Only when the Jiva, the soul, or they call soul, in this written like that, the soul here, is a soul. We can use the word Jiva, that is better, not soul. Only when the Jiva realizes its true nature as different from this mind and body, then it will not be affected by Sukha and Dukkha. That is called a moksha. So, moksha will be achieved when it realizes that it is free from this body and mind. And this is only possible by the knowledge of the understanding of one's nature. And what is moksha? Moksha is freedom from all sufferings, freedom from dukkha, freedom from sukha dukkha, both. So it is freedom. So that jiva, which is liberated, it also exists as a substance only. It also exists as a substance only, and without any qualities. Okay, jiva exists as a substance devoid of all the qualities. Therefore, including this consciousness. So that is a concept. So what is a moksha is, that is freedom from the suffering due to one's karma pala, papa and punya. That is called a moksha. Freedom from pain, freedom from pleasure, from worry. That is called moksha. That is called liberation. And in the liberation, the jiva which is liberated, they also exist as a substance. Because substance are sapta padarthas are what? Eternal. Sapta padarthas are eternal. That is why the beginning sapta padarthas are mentioned. So for Vaisheshika, sapta padarthas are the important. Where we saw these these padarthas. Dravya, guna, karma, samanya, vishesha, samavaya, abhava. So, what about jiva? Jiva also exists as a substance without any quality, without any kriya. So, it is as a pure substance. So, that is the concept of moksha. That is a concept of moksha of Vaisheshika. So, all the 6 points are covered. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandha, Moksha, Sadhana. Sadhana is what? Knowledge. Bandha is Bandha because of the action, Papa Punya, it makes them bind. That is Bandha. Moksha is a knowledge. Sadhana is Jnana, the knowledge only, just understand the true nature of oneself. Then what will happen to the liberated Jiva? It exists as one of the Padartha. This is one of the padartha. That is dravya. Okay. Because of its identification with the body and the mind, it performs action, that is bandha. So this is the general view or introduction to Vaisheshika Darshana. This much is enough. Okay. For your examination point of view, you need to know who is the propounder, what is the basic test, and what are the commentaries available, what are the sapta padarthas, and in dravya, what are the 9 kinds of dravya, and how many types of gunas are there. Guna is also one of the padartha, right? So, dravya, sapta padartha. So what are the types of guna, and and some, then types of existence, the non-existence. Anyway, that is 3 types of non-existence generally, you know, because in Nyaya philosophy, they talk about, in the, when you study Nyaya, their book Tarka Sangraha and all, there they talk about this abhava, which generally Vedanti, they dismiss all these things. Samsarga bhava, Anyonya bhava, Praga bhava, Pradhamsa bhava, Atyanta bhava. These are the 3 types of abhava: Praga bhava, Pradhamsa bhava, Atyanta bhava. All these are just to be dismissed. Vedanta dismisses all these things. Anyway, but for them it is abhava is also one of the sapta padartha. Just understand as it is. And within that also samsarga, abhava generally it is divided into 2 types: samsarga and anyonya. Samsarga is connection. Samsarga, touch, connection. That is called the samsarga. Anyonya abhava means paraspara abhava. The existence of a thing doesn't dependent on another thing. The non-existence or not existence, non-existence. Paraspara abhava. 2 things are there. The example, non-existence of a jar, a pot on the table. It means one thing is not on another thing. Anyonya abhava. So this is the types of abhava. In Vedanta and all, we just simply dismiss all this abhava. So we don't give importance to all this abhava. What is this abhava? Why should we talk about abhava? Non-existence. What? That's why when you have the vision of Vedanta, then with that, if you study Vaisheshika Darshana, you will see a lot of defects, a lot of things which are not acceptable even to your common sense. Because since you know Vedanta, that's right. For me at least, that's how I see. How they say like this, I also sometimes wonder, what is this they are saying? But this is their speculation. This is their darshana. So we are not here to, what do you call, to dismiss them, just to understand what they say. That's all. So even for the exam, you have to write. Your understanding, you have to write as you understand them, and their understanding only you have to write. Even if it is, you can see the defects so clearly, so openly, but still you have to, what do you call, you have to study for the purpose of the exam. So this will, when this background, when you study Vedanta, that is, Vedanta is the pinnacle of all the darshana. It answers all the questions. It gives a very, what do you call, the questions which are satisfying answers. For all the questions, satisfying answers it gives. Now here, I myself can raise a question and make you think. Here we talk about the Sapta Padarthas, right? 9 Padarthas are there. And Nyaya also talks about some Padartha. Now, the Sapta Padarthas, 7 Padarthas, what are they, the 7 Padarthas? 7 Padarthas are eternal or non-eternal? The 7 Padarthas.
They are
eternal or non-eternal? What are
they are divided into 2 categories. Ji.
Sapta Padarthas, 2 categories. What 2 categories? Yes.
No, Ji. I mean, so Shamitamji, objects are divided into 2 categories.
What about Sapta Padarthas? The Sapta Padarthas, what we discussed now, what are they? Sapta Padarthas. Among them,
Yeah, Guna, Karma, and Samanya, Vishesha.
These Sapta Padarthas, among them, among the first 6 comes under the valid objects of knowledge. They have objects of valid knowledge. It's among the Sapta Padartha. Padartha means what? The meaning of the word. What is referred to by the word? It is an object of knowledge. So the first 6 Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, and Samavaya. These 6 categories, right? They are valid objects. Their objects are valid knowledge. With the exception of the seventh one. Seventh one is Abhava. Abhava is, as I told, it is added by the later commentators. Now, in this Dravya is the Dravya. Under Dravya, 9 Dravyas are there. Under 9 Dravyas, what they say, the 4 elements, Prithvi, Jala, Tejas, and Vayu, Akasha, Kala, Dik, and Atma, and Manas. All these are eternal. All these are eternal. So 9 eternal substances. All these 9 are eternal. The 4 elements exist in the form of Paramanu. What are the 4 elements? Prithvi, Jala, Vayu, Tejas. And Akasha, Kala, Dik, Atma, they are all pervading. And all pervading, and Manas is atomic in size, is small in size. But they are Manas, even though Manas is small in size, but it is also eternal. So, the eternal substances are here Kala, space, Atma, and Manas. All these are eternal. All these are eternal. And the first 5, Prithvi, Jala, Tejas, Vayu, Akasha, they exist before the creation. So, in that sense, they are eternal. They exist for creation, they are required, therefore, they exist before creation. And while creation, they manifest in the form of this Jagat, and resolution, they go back. So, they also exist, they are also eternal only. That is why yes, all these are eternal. So, anyway, here all the 9 Dravyas are eternal. So, under only Atma is also is there. So, Atma is there. Within Atma only there are 2 types, Paramatma and Jivatma. They are all eternal. They are all eternal. So, now that's why it's a pluralistic philosophy. Now, when you say everything is eternal, then eternal means they are there all the time. When 2 things exist, one thing will limit the other. When you say something is eternal, something is nitya, not bound by time, not bound by this space. That is what we understand. Not bound by time, let us say. For them, yet time is also eternal. But what Vedanta says, time is also not nitya. Time also doesn't exist. Absolutely doesn't exist. That is what Vedanta says. So even when I see this, even though when I teach this, I see many fallacies in that because of my understanding of Vedanta. But for you, you are totally new to this system. For you, as it is said, yes, you accept. But when you grow and when you come to Vedanta, then you will see the fallacy in this. You will be able to see the defects. My perception, I view with the perception of Vedanta, therefore I see the defects. For you, since you don't know Vedanta, therefore you may not see the defects, but I see the defects. That's what I'm trying to explain, what the defect is. See, in Vedanta, we say eternal. What is eternal? We need to understand what is eternal. Nitya. There cannot be 2 nitya. There cannot be 2 permanent things. If 2 things are permanent, one thing will limit the other. 2 things cannot be infinite. 2 things cannot be complete. You cannot say a thing complete in the presence of another thing because there is always another thing is there. Another thing that will limit this thing. If at all there is eternal, it is not bound by time, it is not bound by space, it doesn't have a second thing. That is why Advaitam, Advaitam. No second. But here, these are all Dvaita Darshana. For them, all these are eternal, all these are Nitya. This is how they present their Darshanam. Okay. So, Later, when you study Vedanta, whether traditionally or as a subject in your syllabus, that you will understand it better. Anyway, this is my perception I'm telling. Even though I teach now, but I see a lot of effects in that. But what to do? This is the system. System as a system, we have to know what it is. But all the systems doesn't mean they are useless. The study of this systems and the development of this system only has finally led to the development of Vedanta system. Many things Vedanta, has taken from the other systems. So from Sankhya, it has taken the principle of the creation, the method of creation. From Nyaya, something. From Vaishesha, something. From Nyaya, it's very good in the sense for reasoning and all. So all those things Vedanta has taken. Vedanta has taken from all these things and has grown into a full-fledged, complete, irrefutable darshana, Vedanta. That's called Uttara Mimamsa. That is the final one we are going to see. There are no many eternal things. Anyway, that's the point, the differentiation I want to make with the eternal and many eternals. The word many eternals itself is a laughing thing. If at all eternal, we don't use the word eternal when we teach Vedanta. We always use Samskrita word only. But anyway, here it is given in English as eternal. And if there are no many eternals. If at all eternal, it's only one. There can be many jivas also. And jivas are there and paramatmas are there. Paramatma, not paramatmas. Paramatma is there. That's always a separation. When there is a separation, there is bondage. That is what Vedanta says. Anyway, but here, that concept of moksha, that concept of, bondage, the bondage, fine. The concept of moksha is different because their idea of the Atma itself is different. The idea of individuality, the Atma itself is different. So, therefore, the author here, the Swami, he summarized saying, by harmonizing the atomic theory. Why atomic theory? The Paramanus, they are eternal. With a moral and spiritual outlook on life and accepting God as a creator and moral governor of the world, the Vaisheshika system moved nearer, not at all closer, only one step. It's a long way. Moved nearer towards the Vedanta system, which proved to be the pinnacle of Indian philosophy as a whole. That's all. With this Vaisheshika Darshana is done. Next one is Sankhya Darshana. This will be interesting. Sankhya and Yoga. Many of these Sankhya Darshanas, the method of creation, etc., are all observed by the Vedanta system. Even in Gita also, it is talked about in the 7th chapter. Bhagavan Krishna says, Para and Paraiti. So we will discuss Sankhya Darshana in the next class. Only this much is Vaisheshika also discussed in this book. This book only this much is discussed. So as I said, know only the author, the commentaries, main text, the commentators, what are the Satta Padarthas, and within the Padarthas, what are the divisions, what is the concept of moksha, what is the concept of this bondage and moksha, the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, what is the concept of Jiva, what is the concept of Ishvara, and what are the pramanas they accept. That also you can note, even though not given in the book, I told, you can write if it is asked in the exam. What are the pramanas Vaisheshika accept? Like Nyaya philosophy, they also accept 4. Even though they say perception and inference, but within the perception inference, this upamana and this shabda also included. Though they don't tell it explicitly, since it is also included. That is why it is also included in one of the Astika Darshana. If we don't accept Veda, then why should we study this as Astika Darshana? So Vaisheshika also believe in Veda. For them, Veda is the Pramanam, authority. That's why what Veda says is, living a life according to Veda is proper, and that is gives punyam, and violating the Veda, what is prohibited by the Veda, that gives papam. So punya papam, the concept of punya papam. If you don't accept Veda as a pramana, then where is the concept of papa and punya? Therefore, Veda, the Shabda Pramanam also is one of the Pramanam. That is what we have to understand, even though not mentioned here, but additional points here in this system. I think this much is enough. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask.
There's no doubts.
Yeah, of course, because I'm just telling what is there only. Okay, this is not a Sanskritam class to ask any doubts also. What is there that you need to just know? Here it's only mentioned. Okay, there is no any logical arguments or proof why we say like that. Nothing is there. It's all out of scope. What is the concept of creation? So there is all this given concept of this creation: Jagat, Ishvara, Jiva, Bandha Moksha, Sadhanam. Sadhanam also same. Sadhanam is knowledge. Knowledge is a sadhana by which the Jiva gets freedom from this body, mind, sense identification. That is a Bandha Karanam. Okay. So with this we will conclude. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Maybe later, if I get time, that time we can see little more on this, not from the examination point of view. I said after these, because we don't have time. We have to do
Astuji.
Sanskritam, the Karaka complete and Samasa. So that is focus. So later, if I have time, I will prepare a PowerPoint. This is apart from your syllabus.
Astuji.
Time is not there for me. So that can be done. So for you, it's only from the examination point of view. Nothing special in this. Okay.
Astuji.
Astuji.
That much. So, in fact, what